The WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Just play $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the WNBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Scott, I would like to inform you that you were not needed last episode at all. Handle business. I just beautiful, sweep here.
For the record, by the way, I would have ended up sweeping too, but unfortunately I wasn't on the show, so it is what it is. I would have personally just taken the aces and the links alt spreads, so it wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have been too creative, but I was at a bachelor party, so yeah, that's how that went. Fun fact, I edited your solo podcast after about half the game's already finished, and I did it in the horseshoe poker room in the casino. I asked to borrow a table so I could edit the podcast, and they let me do it. So I ended up posting the podcast. Shout out to them for letting me borrow an empty poker table so I could edit your solo pod. So
because they directly they'll play around, and they'll what was I saying? I got distracted. I got a text message. But yeah, they'll play around. They'll be like, yeah, no, stay away from these tables. Don't touch that. You can't even walk through. Don't walk through here. Da, da, da. So the fact that they said, no, go ahead, do that. That's fine.
It helped me. The poker room was basically empty. There were about 3 tables out of 40 that were actually being used. So I just said, can I just use one of these that doesn't have anybody at it? They said, sure, whatever. We don't really care. I said, thanks. I was going to ask you anyway, so I appreciate it. But it worked out for you too because I got the podcast posted.
Yeah, it definitely did. All right. Well, it was, Scott, my card was relatively simple for the most part.
It was all chalk.
I took the over in the Aces and the Storm game.
Yeah.
Bad defense on the Storm side, and the Aces can give it up when they want, but the Aces scored 100, so that was never in doubt. And then the dog, it didn't matter what number you chose as my dog, but the dog cashed because Cloud climbed the top of the ladder at 20 points. For what was that, 18-1?
Did you end up betting her to lead the series in scoring?
At 100-1.
Yeah.
100-1 for her to lead the series in scoring. Scott,
and now Stewie's injured too.
And so, Scott, I've been really trying not to think about this bet the entire time. Wait, first of all, I don't think everybody knows who we're talking to. Scott Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
As I was saying, Scott. As I was saying, I've been trying not to think about this Natasha Cloud 100-1 lead the series in scoring bet because she currently leads the series in scoring, and it's actually a little bit of a gap there too. So I'm super nervous about this one. I just need a star not to go crazy in the second game. Honestly, truly, I ended up picking the Mercury for the series. If the Liberty were just go ahead and close them out at home here, it would be great for me in that bet. Yeah, Scott, over you. It's just nerve-wracking, but a great day. Great first day of basketball.
Yeah, I was going to say it was complete chalk. Even the Liberty were technically favored in the game, which I thought was kind of surprising, but I believe the Liberty were 2.5 in that game on the road. So if you took all the favorites on ATS, you won. So it was pretty simple. The Dream won comfortably. The Lynx won comfortably. I thought going in that series and the Aces series would just be an absolute bloodbath. And both of them were about 30-point wins, so that went the way that I thought they were going to in game one. But nice win by the Liberty. Went to overtime. It got a bit dicey a couple of times. The game was pretty ugly in the second half, but doesn't matter. A win's a win. Nice job by the Liberty. We'll see if Stewie ends up playing in game 2, etc. But I thought it was pretty predictable, I'll say, for game 1, because every betting team ATS that was favored ended up winning. So not too much drama besides one game. The other 3 were double-digit favorites, double-digit home favorites just dominated. It's kind of how that went. You have anything else you want to add for game one? Because that's kind of how it felt like it went. Just the better team dominated the entire game.
Paige Beckers has won Rookie of the Year.
The only question was if it was going to be unanimous or not, because it arguably should be. But, I mean, she's a monster. There's nothing else to really say. Nice shout out to Citron, though. What a very good season. But, I mean, Paige was going to win this award 10 times.
Kiki had a great season as well. Dom Malonga, if that was happening from the beginning of the season, Dom Malonga would have gave her a run of her money. She picked it up towards the end. I mean, this rookie class.
Very good.
Lacan and Rivers were good over in it's like everywhere you look, there was a rookie having an impact for their team. And you know what? Man. Damn.
It's a good rookie class, but Paige was going to win this award. You could tell that was going to happen months ago. It was a matter of time.
I'm trying to see I'm trying to find the votes.
I imagine it was very lopsided.
I assume it was lopsided. I would like to see if it was unanimous or not. I don't think it was. If it was unanimous, it probably would have been said. No, it wasn't. Sonia Citron. And I mean, it's really hard to get unanimous votes because they got the people that are in the areas as well.
They're going to vote for the local players.
Yeah, like you at least got one local vote. So Sonia Citron got 2 votes, Scott.
All right.
Interesting.
I mean, the only argument she had was the team is better than the Wings, but they both missed the playoffs, so who cares?
Yep.
But either way, nice for Paige. Congrats to Burton. I called that early in the season that Burton was going to run away with most improved, and she ran away with it. So that was, I think I got that at plus 180 at the time, and I'm sure she closed as a massive favorite because when you keep in mind what she was doing in other spots before this is what the award was meant to be, as far as I'm concerned. Burton had a great season, and she was basically a bench warmer for her entire career. So I'm not surprised Burton won. I gave that out at plus 180 in the first week or two of the season. So I missed out on the initial money, but we got there in the end. So can't complain.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. I have different thoughts.
Yeah, you can make an argument, but I think based on the actual, I know the NBA has kind of lost the plot on the most improved player award.
The NBA has no idea what they're doing with them.
I mean, Dyson Daniel got it. I guess that's deserved too, but you get what I'm trying to say. Burton was basically nothing in the league, and then she had herself a great season, and the Valkyrie somehow made the playoffs. Yeah. So congrats to Burton as well for most improved.
All right. Shout out to the Valkyries. All right, let's talk about the 4 games going on over the course of the next couple of days here, Scott. Before we do that, though, got to remind everybody that they can go check out the SGPN Sports Gambling Podcast Network app in the App Store or Google Play Store and get easy access to all of our free picks and props and shows. All right. First up, Atlanta Dream on the road, going to play the Indiana Fever. Dreamer laying 4 in game 2 of their series. Dreamer up 1-0. Possible elimination game here for the Indiana Fever. Second time in 2 seasons. 158.5. This is the first time we're seeing playoff basketball in Indiana, I believe, since 2012 championship run here, Scott. So I think there's a couple of things to consider. First thing to consider is that this version of the Indiana Fever they can't hold the Dream's chin straps at this point. They have gotten dominated when Caitlin Clark was not playing, 77-58. And both of them in Atlanta, however, 77-58 and 80-68. We do know on the road the pace changes. Indiana moves a lot faster at home. The home crowd is behind them. Everything picks up. But the Atlanta Dream are no stranger to scoring points. They actually are very, very good on the road in terms of covering their team total since the All-Star break, 5-2-1 to the over on the team total on the road. Indiana, not the best defensively, 5-3 to the opponent's team total. So I think the Dream are still going to be able to score, but I don't think Indiana's going away here. I could see a big Kelsey Mitchell type of game here, Scott, where she kind of helps pull this team along. They end up finding the shot from 3 at home, and it's just a bunch of points that keeps this a really, really tight game. Now, do they close it out in the end? I don't know, but it feels like this could be, one of those one of the reason that they made the home, and home for the 3-game series was because of the Indiana Fever. So I just feel like the Indiana Fever are going to take advantage, at least against the spread. So give me the Fever +4. I don't feel the best about it, but my gut's just saying that the Fever find themselves in this game. And even if it is a loss, it's probably a close 2.3-point loss.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with a different angle here instead. I'm just going to go with the Dream 1-10, +145. You could
Okay.
argue the Fever might win the game, and I understand that the crowd should be into it, even though Caitlin, of course, is still out for the season. I think the Dream are just the better team, obviously. I don't really think the Fever are that good. The Dream were on pace for the 2 seed the entire season. Then the Aces, when God mode, they got caught. It happens. You know, they still didn't have a bad end to the season. The Aces just didn't lose for about 2 straight months. So I do think the Dream are a deeper roster. The issue I have with the Fever, simply put, is the lack of guard depth. They've had so many injuries, and I just question if they could actually handle all of the options the Dream have. Ryan Howard's been great. We know Gray's been great all season. Canada's back too. They just have so many high-quality options in that backcourt, and I don't think the Fever have really any chance of matching up against them. You're looking at Odyssey Sims, who can have a solid game. She could also kind of no-show some games, too, if we're being honest here.
Yep.
You have Lexi Hull, who I think has been better recently, but I know that we're both not exactly the biggest fans. And then, of course, you have Kelsey, who's a monster, who had 27 in game 1, and they still only scored 68 points. I just don't really know if this team, backcourt-wise, can really do anything to stop the Dream backcourt. And for that reason, I'm going with the Dream to win. Now, I agree with you, though. It was a close game for 3 quarters in game 1 in Atlanta. And then the 4th quarter happened, the Dream opened it up, and they won by double digits. But I think this game's closer, but I do think the Fever end up losing. I would say similar to what we saw in their series last year against the Sun, where the game 2 was close. They could have pulled that out, and they lost in a heartbreaking fashion. I can see that happening too. But I do think the Dream are the better team, and I do think that if you want to avoid the spread entirely, picking the Dream in a close game is how I'll go about doing it. Give me the Dream 1-10 at +145.
All right. I like it. I actually like that better than what I said. So, all right.
You agree, though? You think that the Dream are probably going to win this game, but the Fever give it their best shot?
Yeah, I think it's really close. I wouldn't be surprised if the Fever win. That's why I like the spread. Of course,
I wouldn't be surprised either, but with all the injuries they have, I just don't know if they actually just have the horses to match Atlanta right now.
And it's not necessarily that they have the horses to match them, because I don't think in a possible game 3 they would even have a chance. I think it would look a lot similar to game 1. But if you're telling me that the Indiana Fever get up for the first home playoff game in 13 years, I feel like I really need to stop saying that and just verify that's what it is. But it's in a very, very long time. First home playoff game. You've got a team that's gotten up and beaten some really good teams, even with this iteration of themselves, just because they've been able to shoot the hell out of the basketball at times. If they get that type of confidence under them, I just would not be surprised if the Indiana Fever snuck this game. So definitely not one of my better looks, I will say that. But I do think it's a good chance that, it's some type of close game where Indiana's in it, and then maybe Atlanta has too much for them in the 4th quarter. And I think Dropping Dime said it early. Fever first half +2.5. I think that's an interesting play. Very much so. Shout out to the whole chat. Actually, Derek talking about Scott, you got a hospital shirt on. It does look like a hospital shirt.
It's fun. I get that all the time wearing this, but it's actually a Nike shirt. It's all good.
Hey, they have to pay you for that, Scott.
I don't know. It's not a compliment for the other people in the comment section, so I might have to pay them, but we'll see. Who knows?
Oh man! All right. Totals at 158.5. I'm all over the over, Scott. This is way too low of a total for an Indiana game. Regardless of what version of Indiana we get, this is way too low of a total for an Indiana game. I understand the Dream are a top 4, top 3 type of defense in the league right now, but the Dream go on the road and they put up points and the pace picks up on the road. I mean, this could be a situation where the Dream actually do run away with this, and there's just some additional extra points scored here by the Indiana Fever, but we're just seeing points. So yeah, over 158.5. I feel really great about that one.
Yeah, I agree with you about the over. I feel like we tend to see a decent amount of game 1 unders, not maybe so much this year because 2 teams went crazy. But you tend to see a bit of a feel-out process, and nerves playing a factor. I'm trying to think of what Indiana can really do in this game. I think they have to speed up the pace.
Yep, just speed up the pace, get rebounds, go out in transition, and don't let the dream get you into these half court sets. Like, go out there, keep the ball moving, grab Aaliyah Boston, right. Whoa. All right, there we go. Aaliyah Boston dominate the boards, and Natasha Howard helps out offensive rebound wise. And I think there's a chance. Like, I just think that the shots just could continue to fall. Like something similar to that Seattle Storm game where, yeah, the storm of the storm, but it was really a large part of Indiana couldn't miss a shot.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I just think that if Indiana doesn't exactly have the matchups to exploit, your best chance is just trying to get into a free-for-all and hoping that Atlanta misses some shots. So I like the over in this game. You might see some fouling down a lot late, trying to prolong the season, etc. If we are wrong, and if the Fever end up losing by a decent amount, they could still be fouling and full court pressing for most of the fourth quarter. So, yeah, I'll go with the over with you in this game.
All right. Player props. What do you like, Scott?
I like Ryan Howard. I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't like Ryan Howard.
She torches Indiana.
Her points are at 17.5. She had 20 in game one. She's been really good. I believe she led the league in threes this season. So congrats to her there. But she attempts so many of them. I think you're looking at a good spot for her to attempt a bunch of shots. She was 6 of 17 in game one, and she still finished with 20. So a bunch of volume, wasn't efficient, still went over. So I like Howard to go over 17.5 points.
I know I never talked about what I did last episode. I just said that I sweet, but for the underdog lineup, Ryan Howard hired 2.5 threes. Or no, it was I didn't have the threes, so it was points. Ryan Howard hired 17.5 points was on the card, and it did hit because of course.
And she shot the ball horribly, still went over.
Yep. And that's ultimately what it is. Imagine if she shoots that's what I'm actually concerned about. Like, imagine if Ryan Howard shoots the ball well. Oh, dude, you're climbing the top of the ladder with Ryan Howard. So shout out to that play. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna play Odyssey today because if my angle about Indiana is going to be right at all, I don't think it could just be Kelsey as much as I am playing Kelsey much over 19.5 points.
I mean, she's gonna go down shooting, so
yeah. And I just don't think that they're gonna be able to stop her, but in particular. But Odyssey Sims is going to have to be able to add to that workload and add to that. And we know when the Indiana Fever, at least this iteration, really turn up in a game, it's because Odyssey, Kelsey, and Aaliyah all got going in the game. And they really dominated the workload. And so if this is one of those games, I do want a piece of Odyssey Sims. So I'll take Odyssey Sims over 9.5 points. I will actually take her to 15, Scott. At 4-1, I think we could see a nice, solid Odyssey Sims game where she just stays ultra aggressive.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. They need somebody else to try to at least score on this team.
Yeah. All right. Somebody said something about Aaliyah Boston rebounds.
Yeah. Somebody asked about the 8.5.
Aaliyah Boston over 8. I like the angle just because they're going to need the help on the glass to be able to keep themselves in this game. Let's see, Leah Boston's been pretty solid against them as well. Didn't have a bunch of rebounds earlier this season, but she had 12 in that game last game. She's been over this rebound prop and what's this? And she went over, had 10 in the first game of the season against them, and then went over all last season. But that's when she was going up against Tina Charles, and we all know Leah Boston hates Tina Charles for some reason. So to this season, I'm not mad at it. I know Aaliyah Boston over 8.5 rebounds. I think they're going to need her. I do. Maybe I would play it like a points and rebounds type of line.
Yeah, that works.
Because I do think a good number of those would be offensive rebounds today. All right. Odyssey, Kelsey, Ryan, Aaliyah.
By the way, Boston's points and rebounds are 22.5.
I like that. It's not too high. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it here for me.
Yeah, feel the same.
Before we get to the next game on the slate, gotta talk to you about mybookie.ag, your place to bet on football and everything else. Their prop builder is second to none, and their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit, get in and get lightning fast payouts with cryptocurrency. Head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market, and since Novig is an exchange, you should know that you are getting some of the best prices on the market. Novig is available in 35 plus states, so go check and see if you are supported right now. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 when you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. All right, let's get into it here. We've got the Las Vegas Aces on the road going to play the Seattle Storm. Aces were laying 5. The line has come down to laying 4.5 here on the road. 161.
I see some mixed lines because I got a 5.5 written down, but it has kind of been bouncing between 4.5 and 5.5.
Yeah, I do see a 5.5 out here now that you say something, Scott. So some up and down there.
I'll meet in the middle and I'll call it 5.
All right. 161 is the total. Looks like that's coming down a little bit too. See some 160.5, 59.5. Wow, so the line is actually, well, I wouldn't say because that 5.5 is moving the opposite direction. So, Scott, I mean, I understand what we saw in that game the last time out. I do. But what I also would like to say is that the Seattle Storm have given the Aces a game. Even this iteration of the Aces given them a game. And it's been competitive. They had before that that crazy loss, they hadn't lost by more than 5 points. And so I think Don Malonga is going to have a role. The Seattle team is just so up and down, up and down, up and down. Like, it would only make complete sense for Seattle if they stole a playoff game and then immediately got destroyed by the Aces on the road again. I think your 1 to 10 angle makes a lot of sense here for the Aces because I just don't think that the Seattle Storm are bad enough where they're going to go down swinging. I mean, go down, just lie down and get drugged by 10 plus, 20 plus points in this game. So I like Seattle plus the points. I think your Aces your 1 to 10 here on the Aces is actually a very interesting play here. I think we see a good game from Asia. Maybe some of the role pieces just don't step up in this game. A little bit more of a defensive effort in a game too. Seattle keeps it close.
Yeah, so I'm just going to disagree, simply put. Maybe because, one, the Aces have won 17 in a row. So if I'm picking them to win the game, I might as well pick them to win by 5 or more. Second of all, it's pretty well documented our thoughts on the Storm team. I think they're incompetent, and I think that Noah Quinn's about to get fired. So I think this is the last game we see of her on the sidelines courtside, with this team. Yeah, I got nothing else to say. Sometimes, there's an expression, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. I feel like less is more about my analysis of the Storm team. I think this team's a joke. I think that they have a ton of talent and they underachieved every step of the way. Now, you mentioned they have been competitive against the Aces team in the past. Not so much in game 1, but it is what it is. Point is, the Storm, I just feel like the issue for me is going to be these scoring droughts they're eventually going to have in this game. Whether it's for a full quarter, a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. The Aces got to 100. I just don't know if the Storm offensively can actually keep pace with this Aces team. They should be able to on paper, but under Noah Quinn, they can't. So I think the Aces win comfortably going into this series. I thought it was going to be a very quick 1-2 Cancun for the Storm, and that's how I feel about this one. The only fight they showed in the entire game 1 was Nneka throwing the ball at Jewell Loyd. He didn't do anything on the court that actually changed anything for the game. I think the Aces are too good for them, and the Aces are a freight train right now. And I do think that the Storm, you could argue, are going to give it all they have. I don't know about that because they have a losing record at home. They have no-showed a bunch of key games for the entire season, and I'm really not going to pick them in the final, in my opinion, the final chance to get some redemption. I'll put it this way. I have made a lot of money this season picking the Storm to let other people down, and I'll pick that once again. So give me the Aces to get the job done here. I think Asia takes over. The chemistry's on point. The defense has been solid, and the Storm look like a team with a really bad head coach. Good enough for me. Give me the Aces -4.5.
I feel it. I do. I understand.
It's always more fun to get another basketball game for a win or go home, but in reality, the Storm have just shown me nothing to suggest that I even trust them to respond and play tough at home. They should. It's a must-win game. You lose if you go home, but from what I've seen, they have no-showed a bunch of home games. They've lost a bunch of games to good teams. So we're going to agree to disagree on this one.
I will say, this is the Storm's first game this season as a home dog. That is very interesting to be all the way here in the playoffs. So you get your first home dog seat over the course of the season with the season that they've had. I'm just surprised this hasn't happened before. All right.
Do you think – so I'm going to ask, though. If the Storm end up losing the series either in 2 or 3, do you think Noah Quinn's guaranteed to be fired?
Yeah, more than likely.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's just – I mean, I don't – it doesn't matter – short of a championship, I can't imagine Noel Quinn being the coach of this team anymore. Like it just seems like for everybody, not even that, you know what, because it could be one of those things where you get past this year, you start to build a new roster, you rebuild, and things move on, things change, and you probably just had bad people in the building at the time. But at the end of the day, for this Storm organization, it's just time for a change. Like it's just time for something new, something different.
They already blamed it on bad people in the building. That's why Jewel got tossed.
Yeah, so it's like now another year, and you've got, what was it, 3 other players that have asked for trades this year for different reasons, whether it be because of fit, whether it be because of coaching, whether it be because of culture, any of that. Regardless, 3 other people asked for trades as well. So
yeah.
like,
it's clearly a bigger problem, but that's kind of my point. I'm not sure if the current roster likes actually playing together. Well, if you underachieve that much, I know that.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think they like playing together. I just don't think the person at the top is putting it together well.
It could be. I'll say in addition to the coach, though, because I'm not a fan of Quinn at all, and I know the front office could be better too. It does feel like with the team underachieving this much, I question some chemistry things. You mentioned some trade requests, etc. It doesn't feel like the situation is that, I'd say, comfortable or peaceful over there in Seattle. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. All right. I'm on under. I like the over in game 1. I locked it up. Now I'm on the under here. These 2 teams actually have trended more towards the under in the second half of the season. I do think this is where the adjustments come in. And gosh, I don't trust the Seattle Storm defensively, but they do get up in spots. They do get up for big teams. And now they're getting a big team in a big home game in playoffs. Like, I think that there's a level of defense that they can hit. And I think it shows up here. And this is just another one of those really, really competitive games. So I like the under in this spot.
Yeah, I think I'll go with you with the under. I think I prefer team total under, though. I'd rather not fade the Aces offense at all, but I will fade Seattle. I think Seattle, you could argue, whether they make it close or not, they have to play better defense, and that might result in a slower-paced game. But if the Storm also just got clamped again, I wouldn't be shocked. So give me the Storm team total under in this game. All
right. Player props. Scott, I am really big on Dom Malonga today.
Okay.
Yep, she had a double-double in the first game. She has had 22 against the Aces this season. Actually, she had a 22-point double-double. Let me say that correctly. She had a 22-point double-double against, so 2 double-doubles against the Aces this season. Her double-double was at 7-1 last night, Scott. I think it's plus 675 now. So it's basically still 7-1. For somebody who has 2 double-doubles against them this season already. You also go and you look at what she was doing when she's actually getting minutes, Scott. like actually playing in the game rather than the beginning part of the season where they were trying to work her in. She's also 19 years old. So like there was a level of maturity and growth and all of that had to go in for beginning part of the season. Now she's smooth getting 20 minutes plus per game, sometimes even 30. And if you look at what she's done in those instances this season, she is to her rebounds prop, she is 7 and 10. To her points prop, she is 9 and 10 in those games. The points and rebounds are really good. She's gone over her points and rebounds prop in 9 of the 10 games here at 14 and a half. Whenever she's gotten 20 plus minutes, that's her new workload. That's the new standard of where she's going to be at. The Aces are going to have a problem with her because the Storm aren't a good not defensive, but a good rebounding team. They need Malonga coming off the bench to help with the rebounding, her offensive rebounding and the putbacks, and her getting fouled on offensive rebounds, getting to the line, all help this team. They've constantly been giving her work. I think Dominique Malonga is going to have a big game here. And so I'm going with her. I think another double-double is well in the realm possibility. I love the over 6.5 rebounds. I like the over 8.5 points. I laddered both, Scott.
Yeah, so I'll go with one of the only players that I actually trust to go down swinging on this team. I'm going to go with Erica Wheeler. I'll take the over 1.5 threes at plus 118. Kind of surprised it's plus 118. You're looking at her numbers recently. She has gone over 1.5 threes in 6 of her last 7. Did go under in game 1. She went 1 of 5. So 5 attempts are still there. Good enough for me. Could be some volume. And we know that every now and then the Storm do rely on some ISO ball from Erica. That's why they got to the playoffs in the first place. So I like Wheeler threes here. 1.5 at plus 118. I think it's a good price. So I'll go with the over on that.
Also, in that underdog lineup that I cashed last week, Scott, I had Jewel Lloyd higher 9.5 points.
Yep.
And I also played Gabby Williams higher 9.5 points now. Gabby's at 10.5. But
Gabby just always seems to score against the Aces. It's a matchup thing.
Yep. And so play Gabby again. I would ladder Gabby again. I ended up playing Gabby up to 15 and got some nice cash there. Jewel Lloyd, revenge game back there. Also, her just coming off of the bench has been really, really good for the Aces. And so another big Jewel Lloyd game there. And yeah, I think that's about it for me, Scott.
All right.
Let's see. All right, that's Tuesday. Before we get to Wednesday's slate, gotta remind everybody that we will be doing our underdog lineup at the end of the show, so make sure you stick around for that. But you can lock in now for an underdog fantasy pick'em and be ready by that point. If you don't have an account, you can make one right now. Brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. You can simply pick higher or lower your favorite players' fantasy stats. And guess what? You'll have a chance to win up to 500 times your entry. So again, promo code NBA SGPN. Play just $5 and get $50 in bonus funds. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm is off to a hot start in college and NFL. Plus, they have their new leaderboards with weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets. So go into Rhythm and just track 5 bets of the same type from any model, and you could win $1,000. So make sure you get over there and use that promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, Wednesday. Playoff basketball, New York Liberty at home, welcoming the Phoenix Mercury. Liberty are lane 2, 159.5 is the total. Scott, like I said, my dog was playoff cloud and just
she got buckets.
Same thing as last year, just exactly what you need when you need it. So, before we even get to the game, you should be playing like and with Stewie. There's no reason you should not be playing Natasha Cloud points.
I'm trying to think of a comp there for Cloud because it doesn't work out based on play style. Is it like a playoff Rondo thing?
And shoot, I think it's like playoff Jimmy.
Okay, that works too. You get what we're trying to say.
The level of scoring that she's doing in the W for her role.
Yeah, that's a fair comp too.
Like if she was the alpha of the team and, she was like the level of a player that was the number one, she would probably be averaging like 30, 40 in the playoffs.
We've asked her in the past to be more
It's
aggressive,
crazy.
and she's finally
Yo.
being more aggressive.
Yeah,
But
that's what she does. She saves. It's like she's like Jimmy. She saves it all through the regular season, and when that playoff hits, oh yeah, you locked in for double digits. That's just the bare minimum. So, Natasha Cloud, the first bet that is being placed on the board for this game. Had to make sure that I got that action. She's sitting there at, what is it at today? Let's see, 11.5. They only moved it up to 11.5, Scott.
I think you got to take that, assuming Stewie doesn't play. Which we have to talk about, which is going to tie in, of course, to the side, because the Liberty did manage to win.
Yep.
But Stewie's undergoing more tests, or she underwent more tests on Monday.
Yep.
That is not a good sign for somebody who had a serious knee injury that she came back from during the offseason. That is not a good sign at all. So I'm assuming, I know it's going to be dangerous to assume here, but the Liberty did win game one. So I'm assuming that Stewie's not going to play game two. And then maybe if they're desperate in a game three, maybe they'd bring her out there like Willis Reed. That's kind of my stance on this situation. I don't think Stewie's going to play game two. It sounded pretty bad. If you're still undergoing tests and it's still not really known, yes, you have another day because these are the Wednesday games now, this game and the next game. But I don't think she's going to play.
I mean, you can't even really just like think of it like that. Like you play this game, you got another game 48 hours later.
It's a good call, by the way. By Free. Free saying that it's a playoff Jamal Murray.
Ooh.
That I like. That's a good one.
Yeah, like you are not, like, if you lose this game and you play her, you have to play her on that knee again in game 3 2 days later on travel. Like,
I think you have to sit her. It sucks, but you're kind of your hands are tied. I don't really know what else you're supposed to do. You bring her out there.
If you play her and you don't win that game, and she doesn't look good,
yeah,
and you could potentially make things like,
or you bring her out there for maybe 5-10 minutes, hope it works out, and if not, pull the plug. Kind of like what the Celtics did with, I believe he's now in the Knicks. I remember Brogdon in that game against Miami in Game 7 where he couldn't move, but they tried to give him like 5 minutes, and it was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
That could be what the Liberty do here. But I don't see Stewie being impactful, even if she does play in this game, which does tie into Cloud and John Quell and other people stepping up to fill the void. But I hope Mieseman has a great game because I don't think Stewie's available for this one.
Where's the button at? All right. Roger Rubin, at Raj Rubin, if you want to go verify for yourself. Covers sports for Tuesday games, previously worked at Sports Illustrated and the New York Daily News, tweeted and said, not sure what it means or if it means anything, but Breanna Stewart just walked through the media holding area at Barclays Center where the team is practicing in practice gear.
Okay. They're going to try. We'll see what happens.
So we don't know if she's practicing yet. We're doing this, a couple of days early. Probably not going to get any more word until maybe tonight, probably tomorrow. But we'll see if she practiced today, man. We'll see. It's really hard. Regardless, with the injury and also I think we've given Breanna Stewart a lot of negative press after that MVP. Enough that people remember that she's actually really, really, really.
If you try watching the Liberty without her this season,
you'll see how valuable she is. You're like, oh yeah, Breanna Stewart is that good.
Yeah, she's really, really good. We just thought the one MVP we thought wasn't deserved, but she's still a future Hall of Famer. She's an all-time great player.
Like, it's just the fact that it's like the what's the shark tail joint where there's like, here's
Will
the
Smith?
order.
Yeah, okay.
And it's like, here's the order. Asia, all the way up here. And Breanna Stewart like, then it's me? No. Fee. And she's like, then there's me. Well, depending who you ask. Because some people are going to put Caitlyn there. And then there's also AT. Mm-hmm. Then there's you. But in all actuality, she might actually be third. In all actuality, she probably might actually be the third best player in the league. It's just that right now Fee is playing incredible, and then Asia is just light years above everybody. So that's
Yeah,
just
yeah. Stewie's also tough to evaluate because so much of her game is how good she is defensively.
Yep.
And you're looking at all the other star players who I think can be a bit more consistent offensively. Not saying Stewie's bad offensively, but I do think her defense puts her in the upper echelon of elite defensive players of all time, basically. I still think Asia is one of the best defenders ever. She's gonna win many Defensive Player of the Year awards, and she already has.
Yep.
But I think Stewie is probably top 2, top 3 defensive players in the league.
Yep.
So that's a big piece of her value too.
Yep.
For the Liberty, that's important, though, because I don't really trust the other people defensively.
All right.
But saying all that, do you think the Liberty close it out, or do you think the Mercury get the job done?
I don't know. We've seen this team lose to the Mercury at home without Breanna Stewart.
Yeah. And even if she does play once again, we're not sure how long, not sure how effective. There are some questions there anyway.
I said the series is going 3. I just thought it was going to be Mercury, Liberty, then Mercury again.
Mm.
I'm gonna still stick with my earlier prognosis and say it still goes 3. The Breanna Stewart injured. Well, again, if I hear some really, really good stuff over the next couple of days, I'll be willing to Benedict this pick for sure. But with the Breanna Stewart injury news, adding to the fact that I thought the Mercury could give them a game even if she is in the lineup and healthy, I just think the Mercury are gonna come over here on the road. And even in a really, really good playoff cloud game, you might get a lot more attention on Sabrina, and that throws Sabrina off her game, who's been a little, up and down here and around here as we come down the stretch. And you're gonna see the matchup between AT and Jocko Jones, and that's gonna matter because Jocko Jones is really gonna need to bring an impact, especially if Stewie's not in the game. So I'm gonna go with the Mercury. I just think Stewie is way too much to lose for me to think that you're gonna beat this Mercury team.
I am going to read off the stats, though, for game 1 because it is important. The Liberty shot the ball not well, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like 41+% from the floor, 30% from 3. Once again, not good.
Yeah.
But not totally atrocious. The Mercury shot 32.5% from the floor and 23% from 3. And the Liberty out-rebounded them 48 to a 31. 48-31.
That doesn't happen.
And the game still went to overtime, which I think is insane.
That doesn't happen.
I'll rebound them by 17 and still go to overtime. But yeah, one player I'm going to call out because it's mentioned in the chat and I was going to call it anyway. Maybe it's just me. I am anti-Satu. I think that she's an overrated player. But look, she was horrible in game 1. The fact is Satu was 2 of 17. She was 1 of 10 from 3. Even though I am not high on Satu at all in general, she's better than that. Like 2 of 17 is insane. Taking 10 threes is insane. Like the shot selection wasn't there, and she was clearly pressing as the game went on. I think she'll play better, and the players will shoot better as a whole. The fact is, you can't out-rebound a team by 17 while the other team's shooting 32% from the floor and still go to overtime. That's kind of insane. I'll go with the Mercury in game 2.
Yeah, where Satu was really hot earlier this season is when she was hitting those threes, and
she'll never 10 in a game. That's insane.
Yeah, no. And the reason that she took 10 in the game is because she had the duo of Jocko Jones and Breanna Stewart guarding that painted area, frustrating her. She could never get positioned how she wanted inside the post to be able to give herself a shot. And so she settled for a lot of outside shots. And I think, that's how you play her. But it's really hard to play her like that if Breanna Stewart's not in this game. So I think Breanna Stewart changes a lot of things for Liberty here, honestly, truly. And we probably didn't respect that as much over the course of the season. But, yeah, changes a lot. So Mercury totals at 158.5. 159.5.
I think I still like the under. I don't know if I feel great about it, but
yeah,
I think I'll still go under because I do think the Mercury defensively can still play well. And I do think you could argue this game is just going to be an absolute war physically. That's what it was. I know nobody could hit a shot, but you had 3 out of 4 quarters resulting in less than 31 points. You could have 1 quarter kill this whole total. I'll go with the under.
All right. Well, I already told you Natasha Cloud was the top player prop here. No Stewie. guess we go.
Well, I'll ask you, if we can do this assuming Stewie plays and assuming she doesn't play. So we can just like say as a disclaimer, if you're taking this, whether or not she plays, if she doesn't play, stuff like that.
All right. I will say that I think one play that I am willing to play regardless is Alyssa Thomas over 9.5 rebounds.
They're going to need her.
They're going to need her. That rebounding edge for the Liberty was so uncharacteristic.
It was because the Mercury couldn't hit a shot. That's basically what happened.
Like, it was so uncharacteristic, like, for them to out-rebound them like that. I just assume AT, and honestly, probably look towards a Natasha Mack play. Where's, I mean, she's not doing anything else out there. So they got all these players listed, all these additional players listed, and no Mack? What? She starts. There's players on the bench listed. Hold on. Maybe I could find a Mac play. That's crazy. It's literally players on the bench that are listed and not Natasha Mack. Is this true? Wow, that's horrible. I hate how they do this sometimes. Whatever. Watch Natasha Mack have like 10 rebounds in the game.
Anything else you're tempted by?
Not sure. You know, again, Scott, I have a lot of tunnel vision on.
I
have a lot of tunnel vision going on here, man. What's something I could sell myself on is a good DeWanna Bonner game. She had a solid game that last time out, 12 points.
Been there before.
Yeah, and also when the rebounding goes up, DeWanna Bonner randomly gets like a bunch of rebounds versus this Liberty team, and so I think this is a good spot.
Yeah,
so 14 and a half points and rebounds. I could see her having like a 10-5 game easy.
Yeah, I agree with you about Cloud. Obviously, I don't mind going AT potentially on the RA if I was going to go for anything for her. I like the rebounds for her too. I do think promoting Bonner does suggest maybe less minutes for Satu, and I wouldn't even be mad. It's an elimination game. If Satu keeps chucking up bricks from the outside, it's an elimination game. You got to try whatever you can. There is a chance that Satu, I've seen her out of the closing lineups to end the regular season. Is there a chance they pull the plug on Satu at some point during this game if she just doesn't get it together? Because I think it's actually a possibility. You have Bonner, you have Mack, you have other options you can go to if Satu's offense isn't there. I kind of like Satu's unders in this game. I get she might shoot better than she did in game one. Not saying much. She was 2 of 17. I think taking 17 shots is outrageous for Satu. I get that she can have a solid game offensively. I'm not saying that she's a total scrub. At the same point, though, I do think emotionally she can be extremely problematic. And if things go poorly early, it can impact her in other areas defensively, rebounding. The effort can be a problem. I think she'll play less minutes by a decent amount, unless she has a very solid early portion of the game. I'll go with Satu under, actually. I don't mind the under, potentially going for PRA in this game. Maybe it's bias against Satu, but I think there's a serious case in this elimination game, knowing that they have benched her in crunch time before, that she might get benched for Bonner in closing time. So I'll go with Satu unders for this game.
Okay.
That's my stance on it. I'll pull up the number, though. Her PRA is at 23.5.
It is.
So I'll go for the under. She has gone under 21 PRA in 3 straight against the Liberty. So.
All right. Well, the numbers sound good. I don't know. I'm not there yet.
You're higher on Satu than I am. That's kind of how it goes. So.
Yeah, and I mean, if Brianna Stewart doesn't play, you could just throw all this out the window. Like in my mind, like that's how good of a defensive player she is.
I'm just thinking of adjustments that the Mercury are going to make from game 1 to game 2 besides making
push the
shots.
Ball inside. Just make shots and push the ball inside. Like
I think that is true, but I also think as a game plan, you don't want Satu taking 10 3-pointers in a game. I just think that volume's insane.
Yeah, I don't think her shot volume's going down. I just think that she's going to look to get her shot inside a lot more.
Okay.
Minnesota Lynx on the road going to play a road Valkyries team. I was really hoping the Valkyries were more competitive in the end of the first game so that I could come back in on the second game, because this is just, I mean, this is San Jose, like,
yeah, a neutral site game.
Whatever. Minnesota's laying 10.5, 151.5 is total. You got Natisha Heidemann playing in makeup on the off day.
You have anything you want to add? Because I know that there's not much that Nikasi can do.
Well,
she
the
called
Valkyries
out the
first half
officials.
still hit. Yeah, the Valkyries first half still hit. So Valkyries first half +6.
That's impressive. They covered the first half in a loss by what felt like 40, but they did what they had to do, and then the second half happened. But look, Nikasi called out the officiating. There's nothing she can do. They were dead on arrival for the series. We all knew it. Even though you're a Valkyries fan, I think you knew it too. There was no chance in hell they were going to beat this team. Like, no chance.
Oh, well, beat them. Yeah, okay.
Like, this series was going to end, in my opinion, too easily. We saw them play in the finale in a game the Lynx didn't really care about, and the Lynx still buried them.
If this was in Chase Center, they would have given us a game.
No, correct. If it was in the regular elite home court, you can make an argument for a game. In this random building that they've never played in before, against
where the fuck is this game even at? Like, where in San Jose? Is this the San Jose Sharks Stadium? Where the fuck is this? Where is this game at?
I'm actually not even sure.
Like, it just says San Jose. It doesn't even say, like, it's got to be like the Sharks Stadium.
This game's being played in the SAP Center. I think that actually might be the Sharks.
SAP Center.
It is.
Yeah,
it is the San Jose.
That is this. Yeah, because they did the same thing when the Liberty couldn't play the Commissioner's Cup game in New York, and they went and played it. What'd you say it was, the old Islanders Stadium or something like that?
It was the new one.
Oh, it was the new Islander Stadium. So like, they have this relationship with the hockey places. I just.
Yeah, but once again, look, Nikasi.
How fucking far is this?
I don't know if there's anything Nikasi can do in the situation, because we know that this team offensively is not exactly that great. The defense is really good, but the Lynx have too many scoring options. She called out the officiating, basically saying, please give us something. And that's what she has to do as a coach. I mean, it is what it is. But I thought it was going to be a very simple 1-2 Cancun series. We love the Valkyries. They made us a lot of money this season. They made you money in game one. You found the only bet besides the first quarter money line that made people money on the Valkyries in game one.
Hey, shout out to them when they was winning that first quarter, man.
They were
shooting at like 60%.
They were.
I thought, I was like, holy shit, they came to play. And then
watching them in the finale against the Lynx, getting absolutely buried in that fourth quarter because they can't score, is kind of all I needed to see. At this point, the Valkyries had a great run to the season. Shout out to them. I know you had plus 2,000 on their playoffs. They need more scoring long term. It's a great starting point for them. They can't score the ball consistently enough. The fourth quarter offense is a mess, and it has been all season long. And the Lynx are really, really, really good at basketball. I think the Lynx win comfortably again. If it was in the regular home court, maybe they cover this. In a random San Jose Sharks basketball game, I'm not picking you to cover the spread. Give me the Lynx to win by 20 again.
I guess I'm kind of hedging because I do have a random $5 bet on the Valkyries to win the WNBA championship at 250 to 1.
Okay.
I mean, come on, they had worse odds than the Connecticut Sun.
No,
like, I had to play
it.
Yeah, I had to play it. They had worse odds than the Connecticut Sun. So I had that little bit of a. I forgot that bet even exists, Scott, until I was shifting through some of the archives, and I was like, oh wait, there's a Valkyries to win the title. Yeah, I didn't even talk about this the entire season.
Well, I'm actually wondering, though, I know that I ended up losing money on the Valkyries plus the points in the final game of the regular season.
Yep.
But I am wondering if the Lynx purposefully did not bench anybody for that final game because they really wanted the Valkyries in the first round.
Yep.
And
It sounds way better than Seattle.
Correct. I'm not saying Seattle's good. Seattle has given the Lynx problems this season already.
They have a winning record against them.
Yeah, I'm saying like they've been good against the Lynx. So maybe that's a piece of the puzzle that I skipped, unfortunately, for that finale. But they've played 4 times this season, the regular season, 1 time in the playoffs. Only 1 game has been decided by less than 11 points, and the Lynx won every game. So if with this spread of 10.5,
2 of those games were set at 11.
Yeah. Point is, the point is if you're looking at 10.5, and this team has not only won all 5 meetings, but 4 of those 5 involve them covering the spread, I'm picking them again in a neutral court.
It just means the Valkyrie are due. It just means they're due. But
in the first half, maybe, but I'll go Lynx full game.
Yeah, that's my same process. I haven't picked against the Valkyries all season. And I told myself when I saw the shitty fucking news about that stadium.
Yeah,
I was not gonna be on the Valkyries in this game because the home court matters, man. I think the home court matters. I will be very interested to see what the atmosphere of the game looks like during the game in a new environment.
I forgot. Let me actually look that up for a second. Let me look up on Google Maps how far the commute is.
Oh, no, I already did. I pulled it up. It's 1 hour and 11 minutes.
Okay, that's not that bad.
No, but like
it's also a work day.
So and it's also, and I'm also, well, yeah, and I'm also doing it right now. And it's like, it just became morning over there. There are a couple of orange lines, Scott. There are 4 orange lines that denote traffic. So this may not be.
It's California. So an hour 10 might mean about 2. We'll see.
That's what I would assume, but I'm just an East Coaster. Don't let me tell you no different. Maybe somebody from actually California can give some better insight on that. But that I still think that's rather inconvenient. Super inconvenient to be driving an hour for the game here.
If you want to get really bold, maybe Valkyrie's first half, Lynx full game, and that's like really bold. I just think the Lynx win this game by double digits, and we call it a day.
I like the first half and Lynx game play. I like it.
I don't think the Valkyries can score against this team, and they gave up 100. The total is like 140 something. The game landed 170.
Yeah, honestly, this whole handicap is, and I'll just go ahead under 151.5 for game 2. This whole handicap is for the Valkyries to even be close and win the game is very dependent on the fact of they have to play defense because they're not going to score. Like that's not happening. They're not scoring the basketball. So 10.5, that difference, I don't think I'm interested in the Valkyries team total under because I think that could be a close one. But under for a full game, if they just lock up defensively, and which they can do, they were getting better defensively against the Minnesota Lynx, and then that last game happened. But I feel fairly certain that the Valkyries come up here in this environment. Neither team has played here. We get some shots that just continue to bounce off the rim. The game goes under, and then I'll be interested to see if the Valkyries are able to cover it or not. But again, I don't feel good with them not being in Chase Center. I will say that.
Yeah, if you want my bold prediction for the game, which might not be that bold with this total, I think there will be at least 1 quarter where the Valkyries score less than 13 points.
That's not even bold. I thought you were going to say less than 10.
I mean, 13 points in 10 minutes, though, does sound offensive, but...
I thought you were going to be... No, I thought you were going to be bold to say
saying less than 10.
That's a bold prediction. That's a bold prediction.
I think there will be at least 1
I think less than 13 is just a prediction.
It could be. Either way, fine. I think they'll score less than 11 points in 1 quarter.
It's got to be over my
There you go. I think there will be 1 quarter where there's basically a lid on the rim for this team. And at that point, you're screwed against this team. So,
all right.
It was fun while it lasted. That's all I'll say. You made us a lot of money. It was fun while it lasted. I'd be shocked if we got a game 3 in the series.
Any player props for you in this one?
That's a great question. You have anything you like? Because I can't take any overs in the Valkyries. I'm taking them to score basically 60 points.
Yeah, the only person that I'm willing to get behind right now is Jessica Shepard. And I think she just has a really nice mismatch. And so I'll be waiting to see tomorrow if they open up some lines on her. We start getting some more of these players in here. But Shepard, I think what she's able to do on the glass and how effective she can be driving inside, I think her points and rebounds would be very interesting. But other than that, I mean, I really don't. I think that it's going to be a rather low total. I think that stats overall are a dime a dozen here. So this really isn't the prop game for me.
I'll throw in 1. Give me Heidemann. I'll take the alt line. Her regular line's at 8.5 or 9.5. Give me the over 11.5 at plus 160. She's had at least 18 points in 3 straight against the Aces. The Valkyries. She's been really good. 24, 21, 18. And, of course, the last 2 games were against the same team. If it's a blowout, she'll play more minutes. If not, still a very good bench player. I think Heideman's in a good spot. Give me the over 11.5. 11.5 is nothing for Heideman. She's a very good bench player. And
Yep.
I think that they haven't announced 6th person of the year yet, I don't believe. So she has a chance to win it. We'll see. She's a very good bench scorer. Give me Heideman over 11.5 plus 160.
I can't imagine them, especially if he doesn't win MVP. I can't imagine this Lynx team not winning a award. And
They will.
So I'm assuming that Natisha Heideman is going to pull out that 6th player of the year.
I still think Collier's actually live to win MVP, even
I do
though
too.
the
I do
odds
too.
don't seem to think so. I think she is.
No, I do too.
She had a 50-40-90. Like, I'm not going to disrespect Collier by completely writing her off. But I think Heideman's going to be 100% top 2 in the 6th person of the year.
By the way, for people to know, only the 2nd player in WNBA history to shoot that over the course of a full season.
Who is it, Deladon?
Yeah.
Of course it was.
For sure.
Shout out to Deladon.
She was like, we should get jackets made.
It was actually funny because when I was going back from Baltimore, we were going past Delaware, and it was going like, yeah, Delaware campus, make this right. And I'm trying to think of like, who are some famous athletes that actually went to Delaware? You got Flacco and Deladon.
That's
Flacco
it.
And Deladon.
Yeah. Jameer Nelson Jr. Do we want to go with that?
I think, didn't Vinatieri Jr. go there?
Oh, did he really? Jesus Christ. Shouts out to
I don't remember.
EDD, the most famous person come out of Delaware.
Okay, so I was actually looking it up. So regular Vinatieri ended up going to South Dakota State. For his son, I actually don't know. But either way, the point is I was like, who went to Delaware that I actually know? And I got Flacco and Deladon. That's all I had.
Yeah, Jameer Nelson Jr. Give it
Okay,
out.
there you go.
Cool no plug there. All right. Lock, dog, underdog. Lock. Feeling the pressure here.
Okay.
Atlanta, Indiana, over 158.5.
Okay.
Dog.
Push the pace. You want like a 1 to 10 angle? Okay. Of course.
Natasha Cloud.
Of course. You're right.
It's like whatever.
You got to double down. 15.
Yeah, let's go give people the adjusted numbers for Natasha. I can't not play it. I can't not play it. So we'll just close things out. I won't do it again the next game, or potentially the next. Well, no, there's definitely potentially no, because she'll definitely have a next game regardless. If they win or lose, Natasha Cloud will have a next game. I won't make it the dog for the next game, but I'll run it back one more time here. 15 is 2-1.
All right. So for my lock, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. It's going to be something that you don't agree with, but I do think I'm going to go with it anyway. I am going to go with the Aces, minus 4.5. They've won, 17 in a row now? 16 in a row?
Yeah.
I lost count. I think it's 17 at this point. I understand the Storm have a
win would be 17, I think.
I understand the Storm have a very good home court usually. They were below 500 at home this season. You mentioned the first time they've been getting points at home all season. I don't really care. I think they're a poorly coached team. I think the chemistry issues are there. It's why they've had so many people request trades. And I think the Aces have figured it all out. Shout out to Becky, who we roasted for most of the early portion of the season. Rightfully so. They lost by 50. And then they didn't lose again. So give me the Aces to look sharp again. Even with the eye test, they look so just... I'm trying to think of how to really explain it, but the connection they have right now is fully flowing. And the Storm have none of that. So I like the Aces to win this game, and they'll cover. Give me the Aces minus 4.5 in this game as my lock. For my dog, I thought about going with the Lynx with an alt spread, but I'll go with something different instead. I will go with I could do a combo play, actually, because I thought about going for Heidemann alt points. But instead, I could go with the Lynx with Heidemann regular points, and that might be my move for this game. So I'll go for it. instead. I will go with Heidemann over 9.5 points with the Lynx -10, plus 227. That's my dog.
Update. Free Sauce says they're on 17. I see here they're on 16. This win would be 17.
That might not include the postseason because that win streak is only regular season on ESPN.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it's 17 including playoffs.
Okay, so 17 including playoffs. That makes sense. Wow. If they won the title, crazy.
What a turnaround from this team.
What, like,
it'd also be really good for us because we kept touting them to win the title preseason. It looked dicey for a second there, not going to lie. But
yeah.
You know what? They're figured it out. Jewel Lloyd off the bench. Who would have thought? And trading for Lonte Smith.
No, I was just, thank you. I was just about to say it. It was really trading for Lonte Smith, man. That was the play. And then, I mean, did you see? I mean, I know she had 4 fouls, but she just didn't care. But Parker Tyus went out there in 11 minutes and looked solid after dropping a baby.
And she's an underrated player, too.
That's where I don't mean to glaze. I'm not trying to glaze, Scott.
I mean, you can. They've won 17 in a row.
No, I'm just talking about, I'm not, overall. Women are crazy because she had a baby and then went out there and hooped for 11 minutes.
Well, Serena winning a Grand Slam while being pregnant is still one of the all-time.
And that's crazy because you're doing that while pregnant / just dropped a baby. Do you realize the number of things I'm not doing if I have a migraine? Do you realize the number of things that I'm not doing if I have a cold? And you're telling me they're going out here pregnant, just dropped a baby, doing all of this?
And people forget how many times we backed her props when she was on Atlanta.
Yeah, man.
Like, she's a good player.
Yeah, the reason that we like the Aces, I like the Aces so much is because I thought that she was going to be playing the whole season.
She's a legitimate rotation piece that's been just basically sitting in hibernation the entire season. They finally unfroze her, and she's back for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So, I think the Aces are in a good spot, and the Lynx, it was fun while it lasted, Valkyries, but you really just can't score. You need better offense.
All right, Underdog, what do we like?
Well, I'll ask you if you just want to put Cloud in there for default points.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start there. It might go against what I like for the game in itself, but I do like the Wheeler threes at 1.5.
Okay.
I think the volume will be there, and I do think that she only made 1 in game 1, but she went 1 of 5. There was a lot of volume to be had. And
hold on, I'm looking for. Oh wait, I don't think it's available here, Scott.
It's fine. Do you want to pivot to Ryan Howard points?
Yeah, let's go play Ryan again.
Okay. And then we need one more. I mean, 18 rebounds is there if we want it.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, we can do that.
All right. We've got Alyssa Thomas higher 9.5 rebounds. Natasha Cloud hired 11.5 points, and Ryan Howard higher 17.5 points. At that Underdog, shake it up. You get 6.28x. $100 gets you $628 over there at Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGPN. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. Good to be back. Sorry I wasn't there for the first playoff episode, but I'm back now. So hopefully let's get some winners on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, I was about to say, go ahead and drop some winners then, Scott, since you're so happy to be back. All right. With that, he's at Right Shot Radio. I'm at ___. Make sure you give us a follow. And with that, 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast, not just on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Just go quick, drop us a 5-star rating and review. Helps the show. And with that, that is it. Have nothing else, say nothing else. Do no other way of ending the show. Just